Welcome back into the Sean podcast. Oh, we gearing up. We gearing up for the next week. Big Ush here. There's the Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy, what's on your mind?
It was a pretty good week last week. Not only did my team win and your team win, I went 10-4 on my picks last week. I'm pretty happy with that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I did pretty well on my picks too. I just got one big one wrong. That was Buffalo.
Yeah. I think everybody had that one wrong. I'm not sure many people had Tennessee winning that game.
All right, but jumping into it. All right. Cat Daddy, let's start with you. Offensive Player of the Year. Anything change?
No, my list is the same as it was last week, which is Kyler Murray number 1 because nobody's playing better than Kyler Murray right now.
I disagree,
Number 2 is Derrick Henry, who continues to do Derrick Henry things no matter how much I think he won't, but he still does. And we have Tom Brady, who is defying age and still doing things that quarterbacks 23 years old can't do.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 1 guy is Tom Brady. The dude is still good. Then it's Derrick Henry. I don't even understand this man. But I mean, they got dedication to him, and apparently he has a great workout regime, and he doesn't get injured. He's a running back that doesn't get injured. And then Dak Prescott, yes. Call me a homer all you want, but you can't tell me that anybody has a better command of his offense other than maybe Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. And I just think Dak's playing us a little bit better than Aaron Rodgers right now.
Oh no, what about that injury he just suffered?
What injury? Oh, you talking about
the calf injury, yeah.
That's not going to slow him down.
They got the bye week. He's good. He's not a running back, folks. He's a quarterback.
Well, you remember, people forget Adam Schefter came out and said he was going to get an MRI every week of the whole season, and the shoulder injury was going to linger the whole season.
Yep.
Dak came out and told me he's good. I've learned to believe Dak.
Not Adam Schefter? Oh.
Well, sorry. Shefty can be wrong. All right, Defensive Player of the Year. Anybody changed?
My top 2 are the same. Trayvon Diggs is number 1, and I said, as long as he's getting interceptions, he's going to be number 1. And he got another interception, so he now...
But he's not just getting interceptions.
He's scoring touchdowns, too. He has the same amount of touchdowns as his brother Stephon Diggs does for the Buffalo Bills.
And he leads the league in pass deflections. People don't realize that with 11.
11 pass deflections to go along with 7 interceptions over the first 6 games. That's 18 passes he is in one way or another. Just breaking up plays. That's 3 per game. That's really good. So that's why he's sitting number 1.
And just to clear something up, he has admitted to his mistake. The 75-yard touchdown, he let up because he thought DeMonte Casey was going to intercept the ball. And DeMonte Casey thought that Trayvon Diggs was going to intercept the ball. Now, if you watch the play, Trayvon Diggs should have intercepted that pass. Did it not look almost just like the one against New York?
I thought that ball was going the other way. I did not expect that ball to keep going to the end zone. I thought it was getting returned by Trayvon.
But you see him let up. You do see him let up because he doesn't want to crash into his teammate.
I mean, all we had there was just a failure to communicate.
This is true. He also said, it ain't happening again. Yeah. But your number 2 guy.
Number 2 guy stays the same. Myles Garrett. Still
leads the league in sacks.
Yeah. He's looking good.
Let's just think about this. Myles Garrett has 8 sacks through 6 games.
Most of those came against Chicago, so we got to put a little grain of salt in there.
No, you say most. 4.5 of those came from Chicago.
Yeah, that's most.
He still has 4 in the other games. It's not like Chandler Jones where he got all his sacks from one game.
Or Max Crosby with 2 games, yeah.
Right.
I mean, Max Crosby
All
with
right.
that game, like before I get to my number 3 guy, let's get sidetracked on Max Crosby real quick. He came up with 5 sacks. This guy's been putting pressure on the quarterbacks, it feels like 5-6 times per game, which just seems obnoxiously high.
You want to talk about putting pressure on some games? I'm going to go back to being a homer. Somebody who's finally got his mind right. Finally looking like the guy he was supposed to be. Randy Gregory. Been led the NFL in pressures this week. And
how many?
Mac Jones, 9.
Oof. Wow.
And Mac Jones, good for him for getting up. Because it looked like he almost got killed when Randy Gregory Goldberg speared him. I don't know if you saw that play.
No, I didn't see that one.
The sack strip fumble.
No.
I'll send it to you. Somebody online put Jim Ross on the thing saying like, "Oh my God, he's been broken in half." But
to our number 3 to my number 3 guy, I've got TJ Watt's Sunday night's overtime performance coming through in the clutch put him on the map for me this year.
All right, but with that said, TJ Watt has 7 sacks. Didn't he miss 2 games?
He was out for a full game and he left early in another one, so he's only played 5.5 games. He's got 7 sacks.
7 sacks.
Yeah.
All right. Not to bury the lead, but all my defensive players of the year are the exact same as yours. So I think we've already made the points. Moving on to offensive rookie of the year. I'm just going to give the people this. Our first 2 are the exact same, so we're not going to bore you. Jamar Chase still keeps doing Jamar Chase things. And Najee, Al Michaels. It's Najee Harris, not Najee. He said Najee the whole game, and it was bothered me.
I do want to go back to Jamar Chase real quick. Like, I loved his blocking for Joe Mixon downfield when Mixon had that TD reception. Jamar Chase was just running right in front of him, getting the defender out of the way. He was like channeling his inner Penei Sewell. It was really nice to see. Because you don't see that from a lot of wide receivers.
Oh, you see some from receivers who are dogs like he is. I'm just saying. Wide receiver 1, by the way. just reminding you.
Well, how could we forget?
All right, who's your number 3? Because I mean, we know what Najee does. Najee's a beast.
He does whatever he needs to do.
Especially in that offense.
Yeah. My number 3 guy is going back to Michael McCorkle-Jones. He's back on the radar for Offensive Rookie of the Year. He had what I thought was his best performance as a rookie.
It
was against the Dallas Cowboys in that defense. He looked comfortable. Did he make a mistake? Yeah. Of course, it's the Dallas defense. Every quarterback that has played the Dallas defense this year has made a mistake to Trayvon Diggs specifically. So he's in good company with the rest of them. But the way he's handling himself as a rookie back there, it's really encouraging to see.
I think he's played very well. I like how calm he's been. But because numbers lie, that's why he's not number 3 on my list. I did consider him. But knowing what happened on that play and knowing that pass was ill-advised and any other time that pass could have been intercepted, I just can't do it. Because 2 interceptions and without those 75 yards makes that game look a lot different. And that game does not go into overtime without that 75-yard pass. Anyways, that being said, the guy I picked had his breakout game of the year so far. Jalen Waddle went out to London, got his QB back, Tua, and I had a day. Jalen Waddle was very much so performing, had 2 touchdowns on the day. I'm not sure how many yards he had, but I mean, I think he had like 8 or 9 catches. I mean, the kid showed up.
He did. I was tempted to put Jalen Waddle on this list, and I was watching this game closely because I had Jalen Waddle in my starting lineup for my fantasy team. So I was watching this one really closely. And I didn't like his performance. I don't know if it's the game plan, Tua's use of him, but he finished with 10 receptions on 13 targets. And you love that 10 receptions. You love the 13 targets. But he finished with 70 yards. That means, on average,
it is not his fault.
He's catching 7 yards.
That they don't go downfield.
I know.
It's not his fault they don't go downfield.
And that was...
He made the most of his opportunities.
Looking at his season, he's had 2 games with double-digit receptions. He had this week where he had 10 for 70. Week 3 against the Raiders, he had 12 for 58. There is not one game this year where he has gone over 70 yards.
And again, I'm not penalizing him.
I'm just saying that was hard for me to put him in my top 3.
I get you, but I'm not penalizing him for bad coaching. He is overcoming bad coaching.
He's doing whatever he can out there. I get it.
I mean, look at that stat line you just said. 13 targets, 10 receptions.
Yeah, you love that. Is he going to be the same when Devontae Parker, Preston Wilson come back?
Preston Williams. But I think it will. But moving on, any changes with your defensive players of the year? Or defensive rookies of the year?
Nope, they all stayed the same. Micah, Owe, JOK. But JOK may not be there much longer with that high ankle sprain he suffered.
Not from his doing.
Yeah, he's doing well.
He went on IR.
He's going to be missing some time. That's going to get him off this list.
Mine's about the same. JOK is probably going to leave the list because of being IR. Micah and Odafe, just the level of consistency is fun.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a new segment we're adding. Coach's Hot Seat. Sean, let the people know who your coaches on the hot seat are. Your top 3.
First one up on the hot seat, Urban Meyer. Congratulations, you got your first victory against an underwhelming Miami Dolphin team overseas. I want to see you win in the States. And I hope you didn't go to any bars to celebrate after your victory. Moving on, my number 2 guy, Joe Judge. The New York Giants are a hot mess, to say it politely. There are so many things wrong. Some of them are injury related. Those ones you can only prepare for. You can't really prevent them as much as you'd like. And the other one is just what is that team's identity? And I'm not seeing much of an identity with the New York Giants.
All right, next up.
Number 3, the team that just lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I have Brian Flores on this list, and Brian Flores is there because this was supposed to be a playoff bound or playoff contending team this year, and they have looked further from it. And I know you had Tua, who was injured for a couple of weeks, so maybe having Tua back will get things on track. But watching that game against the Jaguars, your offensive play calling looked a mess. You need to do something about your plays. You can't neglect a talent like Myles Gaskin so many times like you did. There's some work that needs to be done.
You say talent. But I'm not going to get into that. All right, my ones. My number 1 hot seat is Joe Judge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, first, I'm just going to address something you said. Yes, there are injuries, but at the same time, they weren't winning before there was injuries.
Mm-mm.
So I'm sorry. He is supposed to be creating this culture here, and the team is not responding. Also, one of the biggest travesties for him, Jason Garrett is your offensive coordinator. There's a reason why Dallas didn't win with Jason Garrett there. Did you know that the Giants are between 30th and 32nd in the league with every single offensive category?
Not surprising.
Now, moving on, my number 2 one. This might surprise some people. Matt Nagy.
Shouldn't surprise him. Mm-mm.
Matt Nagy is atrocious. He was doing play calling earlier in the year. It wasn't working. Then he tried to get Justin Fields killed. His position, his situational football is pretty bad. And personnel-wise, I have no clue what they do. His play design is completely nonsense. It's like a Rubik's Cube. It's built to outsmart himself. I don't get it. Then my third one is Urban Meyer. Urban, I'm sorry. I'm not as harsh on you as Sean over here. But you need to get it together, my friend. Now, note, just address one of your ones. Brian Flores. I'm going to give Brian Flores some grace here. Because his QB, he wins his first game of the year. Then his QB gets knocked out, 3 plays into the second game?
Yep, very early.
So he's without his QB for the next couple games. Jacoby Brissett does stupid things every once in a while. Just like he can play well, and then all of a sudden he does something really numbskull. And then in this last game, he's missing like half his receivers and half his secondary. It's a rough spot. You don't go from being coach of the year to being a dud overnight. I think he can still make it happen. I think there should be should have some leeway. Now, note, I do agree. The play calling needs to be addressed. You got field stretchers for a reason. Stop playing the game horizontally. You need to get yards. You have to play vertically.
Coming back from London, I was surprised there were no changes to the coaching staff, at least not yet. I don't think there's going to be any this week. But at least on the offensive side, that play calling side.
Maybe a change in philosophy.
Maybe.
All right, moving on. Our bottom 3 teams, our top 3 teams. I'll start with this one. My bottom 3 teams, I'm going to start with the bottom this time. I still have the New York Jets as my bottom team. I don't care that they were off. They did nothing to show me that they don't deserve the bottom spot.
How are they going to show you something during the bye week?
Exactly. So they stay where they're at.
Fair enough.
The next one. This is where I do agree with you. Miami has put themselves into the bottom. Injuries or not, you didn't play well enough to win against Jacksonville. That means you drop. You can come out of it, but you drop. And I'm sorry, Sean. I don't care how hard this team plays. Detroit does not have a win. They have to be in the bottom of the teams if you do not have a win.
All right, you want my 3?
Yes.
All right. I will agree with you that there is a New York team, the worst in the league, but I don't think it's the Jets. I think it's the Giants that are the worst team in the league. They're 1-5.
The Giants beat the Jets. I think they would.
That's a game that I would rather not watch. Let's be real. I'd rather not watch that one. There's just so much wrong with the Giants that they need a complete overhaul. And I'm talking head coach. I'm talking general manager in order to fix things. Because they're going to have a big mess coming up soon and they have to decide, what do we do with Saquon Barkley? Do we trust him enough to give him an extension that he's going to be healthy?
No.
Or do we just say, well, we just blew this really high round pick, and now we're not going to get anything for him. We got to watch him walk.
Yes.
Man, that's going to be a tough pill for Gettleman to swallow, but that's not going to be a Gettleman thing.
You admit to your mistakes and you move on.
Okay, you tell Dave Gettleman that.
Dave Gettleman shouldn't be the GM at that point.
He shouldn't be there right now, but here we are.
Hey, ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth? My second worst team is the Miami Dolphins, so we agree there. We agree. A lot of the things that you said and I already said about Brian Flores, just insert them right back here. And then my third team is the Houston Texans. Now,
I don't think they're that bad. I actually don't think they're that bad.
Yeah, see,
they have certain positions that are bad.
Like quarterback, offensive line, defense.
Well, now the Tunsil's not.
Wide receiver, running back.
I actually don't think wide receiver's that bad.
Brandon Cooks isn't that bad. The rest of them, though.
No, Nico Collins actually played really well. And this Moore kid, actually, Chris Moore, I think. I'm telling you that the receiving core isn't as bad as you think.
Well, it looks really bad.
Did you watch the game?
I did not, thankfully.
Well, I mean, this is what I'm saying. Watch the game. This receiving core is not that bad.
But why would I watch the game when I could watch paint dry for a couple of hours?
I'm just expressing to you that there are some bright spots on this squad. Now, without a quarterback to make it happen, you're going to have problems.
Yep.
Davis Mills is not one of those bright spots.
He is not.
But at least David Culley has wide receivers there score touchdowns.
Well, this year he does, yeah.
All right. Moving on to the top teams. I'll go first again. My top team is the lone undefeated team, the Arizona Cardinals. My second team is the Baltimore Ravens, back on my list. And my third team is the Dallas Cowboys. And I know people are like,
Homer.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I go with how I feel on things. And I honestly think there's three teams that I had in position for this third spot. There was the Rams, the Cowboys, and the Buccaneers. And I know the Buccaneers beat the Cowboys, but I don't think they should have. I do not think the Buccaneers are better than the Cowboys. So that leaves the Rams. And right now, I'm going to take the Cowboys over the Rams, but I think it's very, very close. It's almost even. And, I mean, that's just how I feel about it. How about you, Sean? What do you got?
All right, so our first two are the same. I have the lone undefeated Arizona Cardinals sitting number one. And I'm not sure if they're going to get bumped off anytime soon.
Probably not.
Yep. You know, in previous years, you have teams that go undefeated for the first couple of games, and then there's the conversation of, can this team go undefeated the whole season? Why aren't we having the same conversation about Arizona? They're looking good.
People do not like him.
I know.
Because he's so. We already had McDreamy in Philly. I guess we got McSteamy over here in Arizona.
Yeah. But Arizona's looking good. They continue to look good. So for the foreseeable future, they're sitting number one for me. Number two, with a big win over the Chargers, a dismantling of the Chargers, I have the Baltimore Ravens. So we agree on those top two teams. I think right now, if we had a Super Bowl and you said to me it was the Arizona Cardinals against the Baltimore Ravens, my first thought would be I'm sad Green Bay is not there, but my second thought would be this is going to be a really exciting game.
It would be.
My number three team has been, I think, the only team that's consistently in my top three the entire season as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's hard with Dallas and it's hard with the Los Angeles Rams, but the Buccaneers are...
Who beat Tampa?
Are looking unstoppable right now.
even though they got beat by the Rams.
They did. Hey. But then the Cowboys got beat by the Buccaneers. So.
Right, but I made my point on that. The Rams outright beat the Bucs. They didn't need no ref help for that.
They did, but you give a full health Tampa Bay team up against that Rams. Let's see part 2 of that.
You give a full health Dallas team up against that Bucs team, because who was missing in that first game? Who was missing? Do you remember?
Who was missing?
Little known guy named Zach Martin. Just saying. The best offensive lineman on the team didn't play. And it still had to come down to the wire. Michael Gallup left in the third quarter. And they still took him to the break. So I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. You have your top 3. I got my top 3.
Anyways, moving on. Let's get to these games. Try to get more rapid fire here because we went a little long, but hey. All right, starting with this Thursday game. Denver Broncos go to Cleveland to face the Browns. Cleveland is favored by 3.5. Who you got, Sean?
I got Denver for this one. Baker Mayfield's got a bum left shoulder. Questionable if he's going to play. I imagine he does play, but Cleveland's going to be without Nick Chubb. They've already said he's out for the game. They're going to be without Kareem Hunt, who they just put on IR. They're going to be out without JOK, who they also put on IR. I'm not liking Cleveland on a short week with all the injuries they have. Not that I have a lot of confidence in Denver right now, but I feel better about Denver.
I have no confidence in Denver, which means I'm taking Cleveland. Next up,
Green Bay.
We got Washington. Okay.
Green Bay.
Okay. What about that line? You think they're gonna cover?
What's the line?
9.5.
9.5. No, I don't think they're gonna cover. I think the score is gonna look closer than the game actually is, because I think Washington's gonna get those garbage time points. J.D. McKissick, garbage time
Green
points.
Bay wins and covers.
Ooh.
Yeah, I said
okay,
it.
I like it.
All right, KC goes to Tennessee. KC is favored by 5.5. Can Tennessee do it again?
I think Kansas City is going to win just because that Tennessee defense was not looking good.
This one bothers me because I don't know if it's the antics from his brother or his wife. Patrick Mahomes has not looked like Patrick Mahomes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the same Patrick Mahomes that we saw lead the Chiefs to 2 Super Bowls, we're not seeing that same one this year.
And like Tyreek Hill is like dropping passes.
Uncharacteristic.
But I'm hard pressed not to take the Chiefs in this one. I got to. I do think Derrick Henry's going to still run wild.
Yeah.
All right, next up. The Falcons go down to Miami to face the Dolphins. Who you got?
Man, this was tougher than the Denver-Cleveland game.
Not for me. Oh, Falcons are favored 2.5.
Well, I do have the Falcons winning.
I have Miami winning. Devontae Parker should be back. And I don't have the faith in the Falcons. I really don't. I know Calvin Ridley's back in the building. But what exactly were you gone for, Calvin?
Well, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because they just had the week off. Miami's coming back from that London trip. They're not taking a bye week, so it's going to be a really short turnaround for them.
I'm still taking Miami. Oh, we got a lot of variance this one.
Yeah, 2 of the 4 so far, yeah.
All right, this one I think we both agree on. Or we better. I know somebody thinks this one team's better than it should be. All right, so the Jets go to New England to face the Patriots. Line is 7. I don't know about that line, but the Patriots are winning this game.
Jetslose.
I don't know.
Jets lose. Jets lose. Yeah.
All right, anyways, moving on. This is a game that is hard. We have the Panthers going to East Rutherford to play the Giants. The Panthers are actually favored by 3.
Wow.
Put your money where your mouth is, Sean.
Which one of these 2 bad teams do I want to pick? Okay.
No. Come on now. The Giants are one of the worst teams in the league. Say it.
Nope. Yeah, they are. Absolutely.
Then pick the Panthers.
Well, I do have the Panthers winning. It's going to be Sam Darnold's return to New York, right? Because
no, it's not the same thing.
Jets came to Carolina week 1, so he's going back to New York.
I'm going to take the Panthers.
I got the Panthers in this one, too.
But I don't feel good about it.
Neither do I.
I feel kind of dirty.
He said dirty.
But, I mean, I have no faith in those Giants right now. But it won't surprise me if the Giants win that game.
Mm-mm. Confidence pool,
right, now,
low points.
We have the Bengals heading to the Baltimore to face the Ravens. This is a sneaky good game.
I got Baltimore in this one. I got Baltimore with the way Lamar Jackson's playing. I'm not sure that defense can stop him. You have Rashad Bateman in the lineup for Baltimore. You have Marquise Brown looking good. Sammy Watkins maybe coming back this weekend.
Oh, the line is 6? I think it's closer than that, personally.
Yeah, I think with the talent that Cincinnati has this season, I think the game's going to be closer, but Baltimore's getting the win.
All right, next up, we got Philly traveling out to Las Vegas to face the Raiders. Give me Raiders all day on this one.
Yep.
Sorry. Philly on the road. They haven't proven they can do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, we have the Lions going to Los Angeles to face the Rams. I mean, oh my God. And this is even the biggest line of the week.
Oh, hold on. Let me guess. Is it 15?
It's 15.
Yes.
Wow. Who wins and do they cover?
Now, do we go with the Jared Goff revenge game angle or do we go with the Matthew Stafford revenge game angle? I'm going Matthew Stafford and the Rams.
I think they blow them out.
I think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be 15 points though.
I think it will. I think Matthew Stafford's going to be mad.
I think he's going to be mad, but I think at some point they'll be like, well, we got to stop putting our starters in here to risk injury because this game's clearly over, and then you got garbage time.
No. I think this is going to be like that Dak game against New York where they're like, we don't care. We want to put our
foot on the throat. Yes.
Now, moving on to the highest line of the week. The Texans go to Arizona to face the Cardinals. 17.5.
Shadow says that the Cardinals are winning and they're going to cover.
I'm saying they're not going to cover that. That's craziness. That's crazy talk.
Shadow called it.
That's crazy talk, Shadow. All right. Anyways, but I do think the Cardinals will win. All right. So the Bears are traveling to Tampa to face the Buccaneers. 12.5.
I got Tampa winning. I don't know about covering though. If it's going to be similar to Philadelphia where they just take the foot off the gas, Chicago can make it closer.
Well, no, but it's going to be interesting. Chicago's not going to be able to run the ball. So what will the game plan be?
Justin Fields running for his life.
Yeah, well, there's that. We'll see if that works out. Then the Sunday night game, the Indianapolis Colts travel to Santa Clara to face those Niners. Niners are favored 3.5. I have the Niners losing this game.
Okay, so do I. I have Indianapolis winning this one. I don't feel good about picking Jimmy G and the 49ers.
No, thank you. All right, last game. We've got the New Orleans Saints traveling to Seattle to face those Seahawks. Sorry, 12th man. You ain't what you used to be.
Mm-mm.
Jamie's gonna get this one. Coming out of a bye. They gonna ride Kamara, and they gonna get this one.
Yeah, I have Seattle winning, or not Seattle winning, but I have New Orleans winning this one too. It was harder for me to pick because I'm thinking, man, if New Orleans didn't have this bye week, it probably would have made the decision easier if we saw a fresh New Orleans team giving us like 6 games of a sample size instead of the 5 that we've gotten so far. But there's not a lot to like or trust about Seattle. Geno Smith is still the quarterback for right now. Alex Collins sounds like he was injured, so now you're going to running back number 3 for Seattle.
Was that Penny?
Rashad Penny was activated from the IR. You have DJ Dallas back there. None of them are terribly enthusiastic. You know, they don't give me good feels, and Geno Smith just can't hit Tyler Lockett like Russell Wilson can. And the defense is booty.
All right, so big sad here. Teams on a bye. So we got those Jaguars, don't care. But we also have the Steelers. For my Steeler fan buddies, I'm sorry. We're not missing much. But we also have the Bills on a bye, the Cowboys, Vikings, and Chargers. Ooh, man.
We'll talk about that more in our fantasy segment, but yeah.
Moving on. Towards wisdom time, Sean.
Oh man, I got nothing this time.
My words of wisdom. Your team may be on the bye, but don't threat. There's gonna be some good games going on. So watch these games, stress-free like I'm going to, and root for the teams that are playing your rivals. I get it. Some people like to root for teams who are even their rivals to beat teams that are in the way of certain buys and stuff like that. Only one team gets a bye. You can't control that. Root for teams to beat your rivals. Just want to win your division outright. Because once you get in the game, anything can happen.
You say you're going to watch this weekend stress-free. I know that's a lie. I know you got fantasy football you're keeping an eye on. You're going to be stressing over that.
It is what it is. I'm talking about in terms of I get more stress from the Dallas Cowboys than I do fantasy. No lie.